We are being forced to bail out another country's farmers at the expense of our own. EC plans to send Argentina $20 billion in economic assistance. And what does Argentina do? They cut their export taxes and sold shiploads of soybeans to China in just 2 days. Meanwhile, farmers right here in Arkansas are left behind with falling prices and no market. I have been an Arkansas soybean farmer my entire life until this year when a deepening farm crisis forced my family to close a 150-year-old operation, and we weren't alone. And now this is coming for even more of us. Politicians like Tom Cotton are letting DC put Argentina over places like Arkansas. As a farmer myself, that is something I would not allow. I will fight for trade policies that put Arkansas farmers first, every time. I'm Hallie Schaffner. I'm the sixth generation Arkansas farmer running to unseat Tom Cotton in the U.S. Senate.
So let me get this straight. Trump runs his mouth as usual, pisses off China. China then goes and buys soybeans from Argentina instead of us. Our farmers get screwed. Their profits vanish, and now they're begging for a bailout just to survive. Am I getting that right? And what does the American First president do? Does he send the money to help the farmers? Fuck no. He ships $20 billion to Argentina instead, while our farmers struggle to survive. Can somebody please tell me how this is America first? Because it seems to me like America last, and everybody but his diehard cultists can see it.
Republicans in farm country are utterly livid at the Trump administration for an, frankly, inscrutable, utterly outrageous bailout that it made to Argentina last week. But why are farmers angry? So here's why. Because of Trump's trade war with China, China has bought zero soybeans from American farmers this year. China eats about 2/3 of all the soybeans around the world. Last year, China, I think, accounted for about 52% of soybean purchases. So, in other words, without China buying soybeans from US farmers, our farmers are utterly screwed. Now, the only other real alternatives for China are one, to grow them in China, and they're trying to do that long term, but really to purchase them from Brazil and also Argentina. Most of what they get, but when they're not getting it from us, comes from Brazil, but Argentina is also a huge producer of soybeans. So last week, the Trump administration announced a $20 billion bailout of Argentina because Trump said he's supporting his friend in the upcoming election, Javier Milei. Javier Milei, you might remember, this is Elon Musk's buddy who did like a Doge type move on Argentina, and he drove the Argentinian economy into the ground, now needs a massive bailout. So Trump is offering this $20 billion lifeline. The same day that Trump and Bessent announced this lifeline, Reuters reports that Argentina is now shipping massive amounts of soybeans to China and cut its export taxes to zero. In other words, the American money that we're sending to Argentina is making up the gap. So Argentina now doesn't have to charge these export fees on its soybeans. So China gets a huge discount. So China is out there scrambling, trying to find soybeans to feed its population without buying American soybeans because they're in a trade war that we started with them. And Trump just made it much cheaper and easier for China to buy those from Argentina. Now, there's another brutal aspect to this that isn't getting any coverage, and it's that American hedge funds invested heavily in Argentina after Milei was elected because they thought that his libertarian slash everything approach to the economy was actually going to turn things around and make Argentina a good investment. It didn't work at all. The economy collapsed. And so these American hedge funds were about to lose billions and billions of dollars on these stupid investments. But now Bessent, a former hedge fund guy, is the Treasury Secretary now, is coming in, and thanks to the bailout, the hedge funds are actually going to make a profit. And the final piece of this is that this is not the first time that Trump has done this to soybean farmers. The first time he was president, he started a trade war with China, and China responded by not buying soybeans from American farmers. And China instead told Brazil, we want to up our purchases from you. And then they actually started investing and helping Brazil build more highways, and they're putting more than $200 million into this port of Santos to help create capacity so that they can massively expand production of soybeans and exports to China. So when they've basically almost doubled production from 2017 to today. Brazil has, and of course, all of these Brazilian soybeans that are being produced now are coming at the expense of the Amazonian rainforest, which was chopped down in order to make room for them. So awesome, everybody's winning.
This is a post for farmers, especially soybean farmers who voted for Donald Trump. I need you to understand what is happening right now. Donald Trump started a trade war for no reason. The results of that trade war are we've lost tens of thousands of manufacturing jobs since it started. Our trade deficit has gone up and the price of everything has gone up. And you've lost business. China is no longer buying soybeans from American farmers. You're losing money. You're at risk of losing your farms. China is now buying their soybeans from Argentina. Donald Trump is planning to bail out Argentina with a currency swap to the tune of $20 billion. $20 billion to Argentina, who got all your soybean business. And he's doing nothing for you. Fuck all for you. This is what you voted for. He's fucking you. He's fucking the American people. And he's bailing out Argentina. So much for America First. Huh?
It's true. U.S. soybean farmers are in trouble because 60% of U.S. exports of soybeans go to China, but China canceled all of its imports from the U.S. of soybeans and is now importing soybeans from Argentina instead. U.S. soybean farmers are mad because the U.S. government is sending $2 billion to Argentina to help out their economy, and U.S. farmers haven't gotten a bailout. Bankruptcies of small farms are on the rise. They were increasing in 2024, and they continue to increase in 2025. And this seems to be impacting local economies. Des Moines and Omaha are two metros that have strong ties to the soybean industry. And I can see in our Redfin data that their local housing markets seem to be impacted. 2 out of 5 homes for sale in Des Moines and Omaha have experienced a price drop. Nationally, it's only 1 in 5 homes for sale. So it's definitely something to watch what's happening in the farming sector. It could spread out to the rest of the economy. Farmers are hoping to get a bailout from the U.S. government, but so far that has not happened. And by the way, my name is Daryl Fairweather. I'm the chief economist of Redfin. If you'd like to learn more about the economy and how it impacts you, please follow for more.
Some great news for farmers. Their prayers and protests have finally been seen by the Trump administration, and now they're going to be saved. The ones in Argentina, that is. This week, Trump's Treasury Secretary announced a $20 billion economic support deal for Argentina. And right after that, Argentina suspended its export taxes on soybeans. The result? They sold 20 shiploads of soybeans to China in just 2 days. Meanwhile, in the US, farmers are harvesting in panic mode with no buyers in sight. China hasn't purchased US soybeans since May. As Caleb Ragland, president of the American Soybean Association, put it, the frustration is overwhelming. I still don't understand what you and all the other Republican farmers are so frustrated about, Caleb. This is what you literally voted for. US soybean prices are falling, and farmers read headlines not about a trade agreement with China, but that the U.S. government is extending $20 billion in economic support to Argentina. Well, unlucky for you, you're going to have to wait till the next Democratic president gets in. Trump is helping farmers, just not the ones in America. So much for America First.
So the Trump administration is getting ready to bail out Argentina to the tune of $20 billion. If you are a Republican and you are a Trump supporter, I wish for 1 minute that you would stop listening to the rhetoric coming out of the Trump administration and actually look at the facts. Because even though Trump talks about America first, here he is bailing out Argentina to the tune of $20 billion while the average American suffers, while our prices increase, while we're losing our health care, while they're wanting to raise the age of retirement. We have to stop listening to politicians and what they say and look at actually what they do. We have to allow facts to speak over rhetoric. We have to learn how to do this and to think critically of what's really happening here. And Argentina needs a bailout because they are implementing the same types of policies that Trump supports and is doing here to bring back the so-called golden age, better known as the Gilded Age, where the rich got extremely rich and the workers got their rights stripped away, were paid basically nothing, and we all became wage slaves. And that's what they have done throughout the last 40 plus years under trickle-down economics. They've made us all slaves to wages. In each passing year, the cost of living increases, but yet our standard of living decreases. The purchasing power of our dollar is decimated, and this is what they are bringing. So now Trump is bailing out Argentina with $20 billion of your tax money. They always tell us they never have money for all of the things that benefit the citizens of this country, but somehow we have the money for UFC events at the White House. We have money for ballrooms. We have money for the Rose Garden. We have money to give to Israel at $3.8 billion a year, and we also have money to bail out other nations while the Americans suffer. We need to start focusing on facts over words. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is Grim with Get the Rant. Like, share, follow for more, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Brothers and sisters, today we need to talk about a story that cuts right in the heart of loyalty, politics, and promises. Donald Trump, the man who branded himself as a champion of American farmers and rural America, is now floating a $20 billion bailout for Argentina. Yes, Argentina, not any state in the US. And let me tell you, US farmers, many of whom are loyal Trump supporters, MAGA to the core, are not happy about it. Here's the setup. Argentina's president, Javier Milei, a far-right libertarian, is facing a financial crisis. Inflation is crashing Argentina's economy. The peso is in free fall, and the government is desperate for outside help. Enter Donald Trump. He's been in talks about opening up credit lines, providing US dollars, and essentially giving Argentina a financial lifeline. Now, you might say, what's wrong with helping an ally? Fair question, but here's the twist. Argentina has just cut export taxes on soybeans. That means their farmers can sell soy to the world at cheaper prices. And who's their biggest customer? China. Let's not forget American farmers, especially soybean growers, have been in a trade war crossfire for years. When Trump hit China with tariffs, China hit back by slapping tariffs on US soybeans that forced China to look elsewhere for soy, which was Argentina and Brazil. So imagine this. US farmers are already struggling because of tariffs, weather, and global competition. And now, Donald Trump is considering funneling US taxpayer money into Argentina, indirectly boosting their ability to undercut American farmers. That's why so many farmers, even MAGA ones, feel betrayed. And here's where it gets even more ironic. These are the very people who lined up at the Trump rallies wearing red hats chanting America First. They believed he was the one who would stand up for them against global elites, against unfair trade, against foreign competition. But now, those same farmers are watching Trump help Argentina become more competitive in the soybean market. It feels like a slap in the face. It feels like America First has quietly turned into Argentina First. Now, Trump has tried to downplay this. He said Argentina doesn't really need a bailout, but will help them. He's framing it as a strategic support for an ally. But what he hasn't explained is why American farmers should be left hanging while Argentina's agriculture gets a boost. There is that same urgency for the US farmer in Ohio, Missouri, or Nebraska. Farm organization and agricultural commentators are sounding the alarm. They're asking, why is the US government even considering pumping billions into Argentina when American farmers are drowning in debt, losing markets, and facing one of the toughest agricultural economies in years? Some MAGA farmers are quietly grumbling, others are loudly voicing their frustration, and it matters because rural farmers were a key part of Trump's base in 2016 and 2020. They delivered votes, but loyalty only goes so far when your livelihood is on the line. This story isn't just about soybeans or bailouts. It's about priorities. It's about whether America First is just a slogan or a real commitment. If taxpayers dollars are going overseas to strengthen a competitor while US farmers are left waiting, then what message does that send? And if farmers start to question Trump's loyalty to them, it could change the political map in rural America, because at the end of the day, no rally speech, no red hat, and no promise can feed a family or pay off a tractor loan. Only real policies can. So brothers and sisters, here's the takeaway. The same MAGA farmers who cheered for Trump now find themselves on the losing end of his global chess game. They are learning the hard way that political loyalty doesn't always guarantee protection. And as Argentina gears up to sell more soy to China with US backing, American farmers are left asking, who's really standing up for us? Food for thought, and maybe a lesson in politics. Promises are easy, but priorities are revealed in action. Now, brothers and sisters, thanks for watching, and kindly subscribe, comment, like, and share this video. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.